All right, today on Verified, we have three stunning, talented, very inspiring and brave young girls who stood by very, very certain values that now have made them young achievers. Joining me in the studio, Miss India World, Anukreethy Vas, the first runner-up, Meenakshi Chaudhary, and of course, the second runner-up, Shreya Rao. And I understand we don't know whether you're going to be continents or world or what, because we haven't really decided. So we just know that all three of you are Miss Indias right now.
Yes.
So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And thank you for coming into the Mirror Now studio, spending time with us.
It's our pleasure.
You know, so this was my first experience with Miss India as well.
Okay.
Obviously also yours. But and I was so surprised at all of the wonderful stories you guys had to share. And the reason why we decided to do this interview on Mirror Now was because I wanted everybody in the country to realize that this is not just about beauty. There's so much more to it. I understand that you are learning French.
Yeah.
Because your mom wanted you to be a translator.
Exactly.
What's that story? So normally in the South, people want you to either be an engineer or a doctor.
Yes.
This is really special to hear your mom wanted you to be a translator.
I was always the kid who stands out. You know, I was always unique. So she was like, what can you even study? And in 12th grade, I got more marks in French comparatively. I got 196 out of 200. So that was the first mark in the state or something like that. And I always wanted to join Loyola in Chennai. So that's a silly reason. My favorite actor...
Isn't it a boys' college?
Yeah, there are two
Is that the reason why?
And that is why. Not at all. And my favorite actor studied there. So
Who's your favorite actor?
Vikram.
Okay. So right now your professors in Loyola are like, that's why she wanted to come to college?
Yeah. Because everybody knows I studied in the same school Vikram studied. I studied in the same college he studied.
My God.
Everybody knows it.
We should get in touch with Vikram and we should tell him.
Yeah, we should. I'll be very, very happy.
So, and I'm going to get into like individual stories, but first I want to talk about the fact that you guys, there's some similarities. You're all athletes, interestingly.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Oh yes.
And you all have other professions. You know, while you look gorgeous with your crowns on your heads, this is not your thing. You have other things going on. You're a trained dentist, aren't you?
I am a third-year dental student.
Okay, so not yet, but you're getting
not
there.
Not exactly. It's my third year going on, 2 more years to go.
And what made you want to be a dentist?
Well, actually, I've always enjoyed studying science, and bio was something that I loved reading. You know, it was something that I would read even when people would not tell me to study. So that is what moved me to go in for this subject and opt something in the medical field. So I cleared the exam, I cleared all the exams, and I ended up taking a seat in dental. So yes.
And what sort of sport do you play?
I play basketball. So since I was always the tall kid in the house, I was always pushed to, you know, you can play basketball, and like that I've been into sports and I've always been pushed, but I managed to reach a level. I could go districts and then states. So yeah.
So you played state?
Yes.
And you played state as well. You're an athlete. What do you run?
I'm a long distance runner. I represented my school twice in CBSE clusters. And I didn't go for the nationals, I went to the states. It was that. And I really like sports. I used to be there in all the sports, handball, whatever they play, I'll be there because that's fun.
So, you know, I have to tell you this, it's sort of a moment of pride for us as well to have a South Indian girl as Miss India. And I understand a lot of people have been asking you to speak Hindi, but is that challenging?
Like two lines in Hindi, but nothing other than that. And they think Hindi is a major thing in Miss India, but language is definitely not a barrier, definitely not.
You know, I also want to ask you guys about your personal stories and how you got here. And I remember at the event itself, at the contest itself, your personal story was something that really struck me. Would you be able to share it with our audience?
Yeah, definitely.
Where you're not from Chennai. You didn't grow up in Chennai, did you?
No, I grew up in Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu, and my mom is a single parent. The last time I saw my dad was in 2nd grade. And then I don't know, and we didn't even care.
So those are visuals of you as a baby. You can look at it on that screen there. There you have it.
Oh my God. Okay.
We're going to put you back on screen. See yes, we found visuals.
Oh my God.
I was always a dancer.
You were always a dancer. Is that your mom? How long ago was this? So this was in school?
Yeah. Everything. Oh yeah, that's my school.
So, is this the extended family? Who are the people in this photograph?
Yeah, all the relatives, my mom's brothers, sisters.
So I understand from. I love this one. This is so cute. So you were telling us. I'm going to go back to your story. That you were raised by your mom as a single parent. Why is that?
I don't know, because I was too young to know, and one fine day my brother was injured, so me, my mom and my brother went to the hospital. When we came back and saw he wasn't there in the house, and then he didn't return at all. We tried finding him, but it wasn't possible, so we were like, my mom was educated. She got married at 21, so she wasn't working at that time, but after this happened, she started working in an IT, and we didn't find it hard. She was the only earning person in the house. We shifted to my grandparents' house, and we started living there. She went to job, and that's how we grew up. Yeah, and she put me in the best school in Trichy. You know, she always thought I should get the best thing, but people were like, you have to save something, because already he is not there, and if you're spending everything on her in education and everything, how will you even get her married and everything? So my mom was pretty sure that she gives me everything the best, because she told them in the future she should not struggle anywhere, and I think she did it. And not only that, I was put in a lot of extracurricular classes. Like, I was in athletics, I was in dance class, I was in everything other than studies as well. She made sure I did everything right. I had everything the other kids had. So that's how strong she was, and she had never showed that on her face, the sadness. So that is what I've learned from her.
You know, I wanted to ask you, and one of the things that struck me at the event as well, you said your mom was not there.
Yeah.
She couldn't travel. Why couldn't she travel? Why
she has a backbone problem, and she cannot sit for so long, so she
wasn't able to travel.
Yeah, she wasn't able to travel.
Was it tough for you to be there alone and not to have your mom with you?
Actually, all the 29 contestants were very, very supportive, and especially Miss India Kerala.
Right.
She's become my sister. When I got crowned, I turned and saw, and she's crying already in the stage. So I felt home with all of them, and Shreya is my mommy from South Zone, because I'm 19 and I like bit kiddish in front of them, so they're like, no beta, don't do this, and they're like that. So it was very, very
So have you had a chance to speak to your mom since?
Yes, I went to the backstage and I was like, somebody give me the phone, and I spoke to her. It was 2 a.m. when I called her, and still she was awake, and she was crying and telling me, you made me proud and you proved everybody wrong. So that was the proudest moment.
Well, we have a surprise for you here on Mirror Now. Our team has spoken with your mother.
My God.
And there's a very special message for you, Anukreethy, from your mum. Okay, and she sent you a message right now. And I just want our audience to remember, this is a 19-year-old girl who was raised by a single mother who has come from a small town like Trichy to become Miss India. Let's play that out.
ஹாய் ரித்துக்குட்டி, அம்மா ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமாக இருக்கேன். ஒரே ஒரு வருடம் கூட இப்போ இந்த சுச்சுவேஷனில் நான் இல்லையேங்கிறது தான். என்னால் இந்த சந்தோஷத்தை உன்கிட்ட உடனே ஷேர் பண்ணிக்கணுங்கிற ஆசையில் இருந்தேன். அது ஒன்று தான் எனக்கு வருத்தமாக இருக்குது. மற்றபடி என்ன அம்மா இவ்வளோ நாள் பட்ட கஷ்டம் எல்லாமே எனக்கு மறந்து போயிடுச்சு. நீ வின் பண்ணிட்டா. ஆனால் இப்போ தான் உன்னோட ரெஸ்பான்சிபிலிட்டிஸ் நிறைய கூடியிருக்கு. இந்தியா சார்பில் நீ வந்து மிஸ் வேர்ல்டை வந்து நீ இது பண்ண போகிற. இந்த தைரியமும் இந்த கான்ஃபிடென்ஸும் இந்த உழைப்பும் உனக்கு எப்பயுமே லைஃப் லாங் தொடரணும். நீ பண்ண போகிற ஒவ்வொரு அச்சீவ்மெண்ட்லேயுமே நீ சக்ஸஸ் ஆகணுங்கிறது தான் எனக்கு ஆசை. நீ பட்ட கஷ்டமும் நான் பட்ட கஷ்டமும் நம்ம நல்லா நினைவாயிடுச்சு. நீ சொன்ன அதே வார்த்தையை நீ காப்பாற்றிட்ட. என் பேர் வந்து ஐடென்டிஃபிகேஷனாக எனக்கு வரணும் அப்படின்னு நீ சொன்ன. அதை நீ வந்து காப்பாற்றிட்ட. எனக்கு ரொம்ப 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 சந்தோஷமாக இருக்குது. நான் உன்னை நேரில் பார்க்குறதுக்காக வெயிட் பண்ணிகிட்ருக்கேன்.
Well, there was a translation at the bottom of that, but it basically said, we're so proud of you and everything you've achieved. You made a name for yourself. Your responsibilities will now increase and you will represent India going forward. I'm so proud of you also.
Thank you.
Is there a response to that, to your mum, that you want to send out? We'll make sure she gets it.
I was actually very hoping forward to meet her, and I know she'll be very happy, and I know if I see her, I'll cry. I'm like, I don't have any words. Thank you so much. Means a lot.
We'll record a message from you and we'll send it to your mom as well, because we have a reporter there right now. But I also want to now talk to Meenakshi. Meenakshi, this was the interesting thing, and everybody was talking about how tough it was for you, because you were stepping into Manushi Chiller's shoes. She's now Miss World. She came from Chandigarh. She came from Haryana. So everybody was looking at you saying, is she like Manushi? Is she not? Was that right through the entire process?
Ever since I was crowned Miss Haryana, Miss India Haryana, there were expectations, because since Miss World is from Haryana, so I obviously had that expectation and that pressure to actually carry on and, try and prove. But then one thing that really struck me was, the best thing about it is that Manushi has worked herself through the level where she is today, and that is the only thing. Oh my God.
How cute.
Those are visuals of Meenakshi as a baby. That's your mom. It's a Fauji family?
Yes.
Tell us about your life growing up. What was that like?
It was a life that I think everybody would want, growing up in a family that is so filled with values, and then also traveling across, changing schools, making friends all over the countries and states, wherever you go. And I think the one thing that I learned from that was the diversity that we have, and still so united and so similar in our thoughts and our traditions and cultures. I think that was something that's really special, and I'm so thankful to my parents for giving me this opportunity. Being an army kid, you're not only just open to one thing, but then a plethora of other things as well. So that's something that has really moved me and has made me the person I am today.
Wow.
Well, those are visuals of your family. I understand that's your mom as well. But I want you also mentioned your dad in one of the answers that you gave at the contest. Was it tough? I mean, obviously it was tough, but how did you manage to move on? Did you have to decide then, am I going to continue to compete? Was that part of the decision?
Honestly, I was not planning to audition this year after what happened, because it was so sudden, and I did not think...
Was your dad with the army?
He was in the army.
Yes.
He was a colonel, and he was suffering from brain tumor. So he was on ventilator for a long time. And when he passed away, I think that was one of the hardest moments that our family had to go through. But I was not going to audition, and my mother said that, the only way to get out of this was to occupy your mind and do something that you really want to, because that way is only you'll be able to move, otherwise it's really going to be tough. So that's when I decided to audition for Miss India, and well, here I am today. So I would really thank my mother. She's been so strong, irrespective of what has happened. She's made me and my brother into the individuals we are today, and I stand here, it's all because of her. So,
well, she has a message for you too. Can we play out the message from Meenakshi Chaudhary's mom, please?
बेटा, जो आपने अभी तक भी किया बहुत अच्छा किया. हम लोग आपके साथ हैं. आगे भी आप बढ़ते रहो. जो हेल्प है वो मैं करने के लिए तैयार हूँ. आपको बिल्कुल भी घबराने की ज़रूरत नहीं. जैसे भी कर रहे हो आगे तक पहुँचो. आपकी और उम्मीदें हैं.
Well, it was a really short message, but it was on point, really, wasn't it? So it really, your mom really sounds like someone who gives a good pep talk and who pushes people in the right direction. But you're also into sports, from what I understand, which is also a very Haryanvi thing right now. You have a lot of young Haryanvi women who are into sports. Has that helped with the competition, being a sports person?
I've played till states in badminton and in swimming, represented Haryana. And we had many competitions in the pageant itself related to Miss Active and sports. So I won 2 medals here in the pageant itself, in basketball and in badminton. So I think some way or the other, your hard work never goes waste, no matter what field it is. So it really did come in use here. So yes.
In fact, one of the conversations we were having at the judges' table, because Rahul KL was there and Irfan Pathan was there, the question about failure or success is best understood by someone in sports, right? And so they, everybody just felt that those of you who are in sports had sort of an advantage on understanding success and failure. Is that something you have to deal with on a regular basis as an athlete?
Absolutely. I think everybody works hard. Everybody prepares for an event or whatever competition you're going in for. But then at that moment, the particular particular time, you cannot guarantee if you will. Everybody works hard, but then it's all up to fate, the time, the destiny, whatever it is. So I think that is one thing that sports taught us, the discipline, punctuality, but being a good sports person has put in the sportsmanship that we have. So I think that is one thing that we learned from sports. So the value of respecting the failure and success in an equal manner is something that is very important.
I love these photographs. Are these all yours?
Yes.
So obviously your mom's brimming with pride. When do you get a chance to go home?
We'll be going on 2nd, 3rd and 4th.
Okay, so you'll all be going back to your respective
Exactly,
states
for the
and to your homes and stuff like that. Should be fun. Shreya. Also an athlete.
I'm not waiting for a message. I'm gonna drop down and cry now.
We'll pass the tissue down the table to you. So, but tell us your story. Tell us
I'm
what
an
brought you here.
architect
Yes.
by profession. I've passed out last year, and a very Sida Sada girl, just going to college, having fun. I always liked. So I was a.
We'll be the judge of that.
No way. Yeah. So, oh God, they had to give embarrassing pictures.
How are these embarrassing? These are very sweet pictures.
All, yeah. All cousins and friends.
So you said you were in
Yes.
college, you decided to be an architect.
Yes, I am an architect by profession, and I've never thought of a beauty pageant as such. I've never dreamt of it. Obviously, we had it when we were young, but then someone said, let's just go for the auditions and,
Right.
give Miss India a shot. I said, Miss India, are you sure? I'm sure she's watching this and she's like, girl, you're there now. But yeah, so that's how it started, and I auditioned last year. I came till top 3, and I then decided that, okay, there is something that Miss India sees in me, and that I have to come back, I have some potential that they could see and I couldn't. So I had to convince my parents and tell them. I'm the only daughter, so I had to really convince them and tell them that, I'm, oh God, that's my,
Wow, those are a lot of sashes for a Sidi Sadi Laki.
those were sports.
No, but what?
Oh God.
So what did you mean when you say you had to convince your parents?
Yes, so me coming back, going for once was okay, and then they never expected me to even reach the top 3. So reaching that itself, they were really proud. I miss her. They were really proud, but then they said, why you've already set your career path. I don't want you to change it. I was working as a head strategic planner in one of the firms. So in Hyderabad, so I had a plan of going for my masters to UK. I was supposed to fly this year, or last year actually.
Okay.
Then I said, no, I don't want to go back and regret my entire life that, I had a chance to get back, but I never did. So now I have this crown, and my parents are very, very proud of it.
They're very proud of you?
Yes.
Do you want to hear the message that your parents sent
Yeah.
for you? All right, let's play out Shreya's parents' message.
Oh God.
Hi Shreya, how are you? Hope you're doing well. It was very, very highly thrilling moment for both of us, me and Dad. We are very, very happy with your performance. We never expected that kind of overwhelming from you. Just now I'm coming back from my friend's lunch. Everybody is talking about you, and everybody is wishing you, and everybody wants you to come as a winner. You already as a winner, but don't feel homesick, and we are there for you. I love you. Thank you.
She never praises me. She's someone who holds me back to the ground. You know what, I asked her, Ma, how, everyone praises me. I come back home and I'm like, Nazar utaro, Ma. She's like, no, it's not necessary. You look very above average. She used to tell me this. My dad is someone who says, whenever I ask him, how am I looking, he would say, anything you wear, dress ke andam vastadi, which is the clothes look better. You look good in anything. My mom is someone who says, you just look above average. I was like, wow.
So your mom is a tough critic.
Yes, she is.
But okay, so obviously it's a very glamorous world. Are your parents worried that it'll probably because you guys are really young? You're 19. Yeah. It's a tough world for someone who's only 19. Are you nervous? Are your parents? Is your mom nervous that it'll sweep you off your feet?
Yeah, parents will be parents, so they were worried before. Like my mom was really worried before. But once she came to know that I am strong in what I want and I'm very focused in what I really want, she's like, I know you'll do it. So,
So what have you guys been doing since the event? It's been, what, 48 hours?
Interviews.
Replying to messages, texts, everybody's
God,
calling
yes.
us up. We don't even have time to reply to all the messages, but then it's so overwhelming. So many people showering love and, you know, the support to whatever achievements we've been getting. So
You know, the other thing I really wanted to, before we run out of time, I wanted to bring up to our audience is the fact that you're already doing some amazing work, all three of you.
Yes.
You're running an orphanage.
yeah.
And an NGO for transgender people in Tamil Nadu. Tell us about it. Why did you decide to do that? And how long have you been doing this for?
I've been doing it from 11th grade. I started it very small, as in going to the orphanage and teaching when I had weekends or holidays. And then I had a friend who was transgender in school. So she was abandoned by her parents and I don't know where she is. So that incident moved me a lot, and that is what made me start an initiative for them. We say India is, don't have gender bias, but India still doesn't have third restrooms for the transgender. So that itself proves the gender bias still exists. And the humanity dies when it comes to the topic of transgender is what I feel. And it's just because there's no much awareness, they think it's transgender's mistake to be like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not telling I'll change the world, I'll change everybody and all. But I am very sure with this title and with this crown, I'll change at least few people's perspective towards the transgender. And this is going to change a lot of transgenders' life.
You did some amazing work as well. Could you tell us about that project that you're working on?
I started my own project called Muskurahat, which is basically about creating awareness on oral health hygiene in rural areas especially. So I started this off when I was in my first year of college. Normal thing that I just went to villages and I saw a lot of people did not know about the basics of the hygiene that is related to the oral health, which is really, really important. Even WHO considers it as an important public health perspective. So I think through my work I've been able to go to various villages near my college, and I've been able to spread awareness and tell them about the importance of that, and many people have actually been able to recover and have been telling others, you know, about the importance. So that's something that I've been able to do and I'm really proud of.
And your project
Yes.
for autism.
Yes.
Tell
So,
us about that one.
As I was doing my architecture, fourth year, we had a thesis project to do. And I realized that not many people actually know about autism. So a lot of big architects, established architects back in Hyderabad didn't know what exactly autism was until I brought it to the table. And more than my project, they were interested to know what it was.
Yes.
So it's a neurological disorder that comes by birth. So this is something that I thought, you know, at least to whatever extent, at least to my college, at least to my classroom, at least to the jurors who come, I wanted to put it forward and tell them. And when I wrote my report, I made a book that was helpful for the other architects who would probably, someone would come and ask them how, you know, how learning spaces can be, you know, built for, designed for autism kids. So for them, I've made a book which has all the guidelines that, you know, a general architect can follow for.
So give us a couple of examples. So
Maybe colors, like color is something that influences the space. So make it a blue background. So we have a lot of autistic schools. I've done a lot of case studies and realized that only very rented houses, rented rooms are
Tend to
given.
be used, yes.
Yes, which are already in a very bad shape, and colors and none of that has been kept in mind. But
patterns as well, I understand.
of
also
course,
helps, yes.
patterns, it really disturbs them. For them, a lot of too many colors or too many patterns disturbs them. So probably few stripes or maybe like checked patterns. So if we could avoid them in their learning spaces, it's easier for them to grasp. So the whole point was to give them those certain guidelines. And after architecture, when I saw that BWAP is something, Beauty with a Purpose was something on a national and an international platform, I thought autism had to come out and all the parents had to know that their kid is, you know, a lot of parents undergo a lot of changes when they realize that the child is autistic and they think there's no other help because no one understands autism as much.
Right. So I don't have too much time, but last question. Obviously, there are international now platforms that you guys are going to have to compete at. You don't have to think about it right now. You can. I'm assuming they're going to give you a couple of months at least to let this sink in. But what's the routine going to be like? You know already that you have to go to Miss World, right? So
now that I'm crowned as Miss India World, so next I'm going to Miss World representing India. And after 17 years, Manushi had brought back the crown to India. And now it's my responsibility to keep it in India this year. So I have few months time to prepare. And I think I'll give my 200% every day. So I don't want any regrets later. And now that I've gained a lot of people's trust, and I don't want to break anybody's trust, and I want to keep up the standard that Manushi has set.
how about you? Any nervousness? You guys, you don't know yet, from what I understand, which contest you're going to be going to.
Hopefully, we want to make the nation proud and go on and
You already have, I
represent.
think.
So sweet, so sweet.
Wherever we go, we're sure we're going to give our 100% and make India proud.
All right. It's been fantastic spend time with you guys.
Thank you so much.
guys
It was
are
our
so
pleasure, and thank you for the surprises.
I'm sure my mother must have been so happy. She's so shy in front of camera. I don't know how did she even say
took some convincing.
She is very shy. I'm like surprised she's able to do that. So yeah, thank you.
Just you guys are fantastic, and I wish you really, really good luck. It's obviously going to be a fantastic year. So enjoy it, own it, and of course, all credit to your families and everything.
I think they all the gratitude to them.
All right, that's a wrap, and thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.